Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today, Purple has joined me again, and we're going to have another conversation on motherhood. What are those things that they didn't tell us when we were becoming mothers? You know, we would like to share them so that if you're going to be, if you're a first-time mother, you can learn these things so that you're more prepared than we were. But before we dive into this, would you please subscribe? And if you'd like to know those things, watch this video up to the end. The first thing that they didn't tell, that for me I got to know, is that when you lie down on your tummy, when you're a breastfeeding mother, you're going to wake up in a puddle of breast milk. So I didn't know, and for me that was my comfortable sleeping position. I didn't know how to sleep on my back. So I would wake up in a puddle of milk. I'd be like, how come no one told me? It was very, I don't know, it's so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable because now you realize this milk, my baby should have taken the milk, but it's just wasted. But also, the smell. The smell is not nice. And it's uncomfortable. It's like, I don't know, it's just uncomfortable.
Yeah, you can think there's something, I don't know, wrong. It's almost like when you are young and maybe you wet the bed and you woke up and you're like, oh my gosh, did I? So, yeah.
So that one, no one even mentioned it. So I just experienced it. I was shocked, and I kept on doing it. You know, at night when you're exhausted, sometimes just get your comfortable position. First of all, it's even painful actually, because the breasts, when they have breast milk, they are hard. So, that's something I got to know.
Wow. Well, I don't think I struggled with that so much, but I know that it happens. I think it did, but someone had given me breastfeeding pads, so I could kind of contain it at that time. But I think one thing that I remember in the first few weeks of having my first child was having so many mixed feelings. And I was like, everyone tells you when you become a mom, you feel like this, your car baby, you just enjoy your car baby. But in those first few weeks, fresh C-section, not sleeping. It's funny, the baby was sleeping in the hospital, but we got home and the baby stopped sleeping. So you're trying to figure out how you're sitting and everything. So when the baby sleeps, you feel like, get a break. And then when you feel like, when the baby turns, you feel like, oh my God, the baby is going to wake up. And then it brought so much anxiety, so much, I guess that's the word for it, mixed feelings, because you're worried, like you're happy the baby is there, but you're scared because you don't know what you're doing. And then I remember I started crying so much, and my mom was like, you stop crying, move on. And then I called to a friend and talked to them, and she told me, no, it's the hormones, and there are so many emotions, like your body has just gone through so many changes. So don't be surprised if the baby cries, you also start crying. The what also starts happening. But then I know for some people it can be more than just mixed feelings. There's such a thing as postpartum depression, where it's not just this that I'm talking about of, you just feel a bit unsettled in your body and surroundings, but I don't know if you've experienced or known someone who's experienced that.
For me, when I was going to give birth, in my head I was thinking, let me go give birth and rest. Because by 9 months, I was so exhausted. Actually, I felt like, you know how you easily cry? Someone walked up to me at church and told me, you give birth soon. Now, they didn't know. I felt like this baby is not coming out. So I started crying immediately. So I felt like, let me give birth to this baby and I rest. My friend, Resting where? There was no resting. That was a big lie. No one warned me that you're not going to be resting. First of all, because the labor was long and very painful, and the healing process. The healing process took forever. I lost weight. I became pale. Actually, someone met me after like 2 months and asked me, Gwen, well, have you been sick? Why do you look like life has been sucked out of you? It was hard because they usually tell us, sit on a hard floor, that stitches must heal. It's a lie that that when you've gone through normal vaginal birth, that you're going to heal faster. The only thing I realized is you leave the hospital and faster compared to the one who has had a C-section. But the healing is different for different people. So for me, because the healing was so long, the medicine they gave me was not working. I was in pain. People would tell me, sit on smanya bucket that put warm water and sit on that bucket. That steam, I will do what? They brought herbs. The herbs were not working. I was taking painkillers. They were not working. So I was in a lot of pain. Now when the baby would cry, I was not happy that baby was awake. I'd be like, again. And you know how actually no one thinks about you as a mother, that you're going through pain, you're adjusting the nipples.
Breastfeeding pressure.
And you must breastfeed that baby.
That's another one, actually.
Yes. So I had mixed feelings when the baby cried. I was like, oh God, again.
Back to it.
And I was so exhausted. So yeah, I had mixed feelings, and I think there was that depression. That thing is real. You get depressed. Instead of being happy, everyone is coming to congratulate you. But for you, you feel overwhelmed. You feel like I'm not excited. But of course you fake it. For the other people.
Yeah, because here sadly here, depression is not something that is, especially from a mother, is not something that, I don't know, you never feel like that's a discussion people easily have. But I've known friends that have had it, and it's a struggle, and it's real depression. And I guess there's a lecturer who said he did some research on postpartum depression in Ugandan mothers. And because elsewhere in the US, in those other countries, it's a topic like this. They provide, like, it's an intentional, there's something intentional. I get to know after years. When people are talking about it, I'm like, what? Wait, how does that thing, you know? It's a prolonged period. Like, it's not just, now I'm sad, but I'm going to be fine. It's a prolonged period of, like, sadness about having your child. And it could be
even the
any
thoughts,
number,
the
negative thoughts. But like this lecturer said, some of the things that he realized in his research that usually help mothers here is the social support, the network. You know, a mother comes from the hospital, and maybe they go to their mothers and someone is helping her care for their child, or they have a very supportive spouse. Or I like somehow here, because of you're not locked up in the house alone, usually there are people coming to visit, check on you. Things like that help with depression. But although if symptoms persist, as they say, seek medical help. You go for counseling, see a doctor, figure out how you can get through, because a baby is supposed to be a
but also it's a good thing for a mother to know, because maybe had I known, I would have figured it out, or found someone to talk to, or maybe talk to a medical person. That I just didn't know why I was feeling sad. The baby would cry, and I'd be like, again.
Yeah, it's the pressure, and you mentioned breastfeeding, and that's another pressure that somehow as a mom you should be able to, to provide enough. And people, I've known people who eat all kinds of things, all kinds of greens, all kinds of, and then the milk still just will not come. And I say this sadly, like they sadly have to resort to bottle feeding, because that's the way culture makes it look like if you can't breastfeed, then somehow, sadly, you have to resort to bottle feeding. And yet, you know, it's an option. It's a very good option for moms who need to be healthy. Of course, the
Those
science
who don't
says,
even
yes,
have enough
the
milk.
science says if you're able to breastfeed, and you know it has the best nutrients. But there's also something as express feeding, especially like now for me when I had to go back to work, I would pump the milk. It's still breast milk, but it's in a bottle, and the child takes it when you're not around, because there are mothers who have to go back to work a month after, and then the pressure is, now my child, I have not breastfed my child.
But also, you know, even the pressure is very much, because I remember they would make for me flasks of porridge so that I can get milk. And for me, first of all, I can't take so much porridge. But the whole thing of you must drink this so that you get milk. Now, they mean well. There are people who are doing that mean well. They want to take care of you and take care of the baby. But no one actually is thinking, but also this woman who's taking 4 flasks a day. You know, so the whole pressure of getting breast milk is real.
Yeah.
And even when you've just given birth, you must put that baby so that they latch on, so that the body can start to bring breast milk.
But also sometimes when you've had a C-section, the breast milk won't come immediately. So you still have to use the bottle to mix the milk and not, because somehow, I don't know if it just delays the process, but because everything has been put to sleep at some point to be able to, I don't know what it is, but you end up, the breasts become so engorged, but they're not releasing the milk in those early first hours. So either way,
actually,
like,
for us,
we need to work our minds around this whole bottle feeding, breastfeeding thing, so that what is best for the child
even
in the moment, supplementing.
Because for us, we had to supplement.
Yeah,
we had to buy, I think it was cow and get, because the appetite was very, the boy was not getting like full.
Yes.
So he would cry, and I could not produce enough milk. And for me, actually, I tried to even pump, but I could never pump. I don't even know. Like, the milk would not come. I see people who pump and get like a bottle.
Yeah.
That for me, I would try even when they are so full. And, you know, so that the whole pressure around breast milk is real. And somehow no one tells you that, man, breastfeeding is also another.
I have another one. The fact that your body changes.
Yes.
When you have a baby.
Yes.
And I'm on my 3rd now, but already at the beginning I was feeling 3rd pregnancy. I was feeling the pressure of, now how are you going to snap back and make sure you look like you still have at least just 2 or 1, or better still, like you haven't had any at all. And yet the truth is, I'm sure even for mothers who go back to the physical size that they're like, you look like you've not had children before. It's inside, even your tummy is just never the same. The muscles, the baby pulls on you. So, and then of course now what you've mentioned about flasks of porridge, things like that. If you get into that headspace properly, the chances of your body not changing are
in the morning,
very, you know, so
your body changes. That's real. Actually, when you look at my pictures before I gave birth, it's like I'm a different person. And I only had 2 children, because in my head I'm thinking, okay, maybe when you have had 4 or 5, your body should change a lot. But by the time, just by the first baby, my body had started to change. I put on weight. Losing weight is also an issue, because you're trying to feed the baby. Then,
and then you feed the baby and you're so hungry. So then you also have to eat.
That hunger where you feel like I am shaking, I'm about to.
And I don't know. I think there's a lot of pressure on women, on mothers to, you know, to be like how they were in their 20s. Because when we were young, first of all, we would look at our tummies and say, my tummy is so big. I need to work on it. After you have a child, you realize, I had nothing to complain about in the first place. I
asked myself, what was my problem? Like, what was wrong with me? Why did I think, I have a big tummy, then I have to I need to lose weight? I'm like, now I'm like 3
No.
times my,
Yeah.
that size.
So-
And now my time is real.
Yeah, but your body changes even in things like you start getting certain pains and aches you never had before. Like in the back.
I had
like the headaches,
Yes.
like certain things just start appearing. I don't know if they also correlate with your age as you progress and get older.
probably
but-
even the nutrients that you're losing.
Yeah, the
because you've given
hormones,
birth
yes,
and
the
you're
hormones.
breastfeeding.
I have a friend who told me recently that, because I always knew her, she had like a tiny foot, like a size over 37, over 30. We went through shopping and she was 39. So I asked her what happened. She was like, my dear, every time I've had a baby, the foot size has changed. I was like, okay.
What?
Some of our feet should not change size because they're already on the bigger. Yeah, so.
That's so
changes
true.
of
The
all
body
kinds.
changes because
the bones.
my knees would hurt on the second born. Like when I would try to when I would sit, they would hurt. When I would get up, they would hurt. So I
So
wondered.
you've been carrying that
Yes.
weight for 9 months. It takes a toll. Even the baby just going through you to come out when you, even with a C-section, they've cut certain things. They've cut through
There's
so
a
much
scar.
tissue. There's a scar. So I think we need to
Actually,
reduce that pressure.
even
They
normal,
don't tell us that, but we need to reduce
even
that
normal
pressure.
birth, if they've stitched you, there's a scar
Yeah.
that remains where they've, as if where maybe they tie there. So those are things no one
Yeah.
talked about it, and the scar can be painful actually. So the body changes. You might gain a lot of weight, you might lose weight, but our bodies are different, and
Yeah.
that's the point.
Again, yeah.
The bodies are different. The body will just snap back after. Then another person, they will work so hard
Yeah.
and not even lose weight. Sometimes after even when you try, just feel like you're getting dizzy. You're like, it's just not working
Point
out
is to
for
be
you.
healthy.
Yes,
Whatever body
exercise.
you have, at whichever point, be healthy.
Then the other one is the advices from other people. Like you
Advice.
get so many, hold the baby like this. No, breastfeed like this. No, the way you've, that's
milk,
not how
you're
you
choking him with the
Yes.
milk. You're doing.
And then
as
when
if
you have
they-
a big boob, they tell you, but hold that boob because it might choke the
Even
baby.
when it's small,
When
they
it's
tell you
small,
hold it.
actually, because mine was small, you really have to carry the baby. Like, you know how they say,
Yes.
some people raise the baby down. For you, you really have to carry the baby up. For me, I could never breastfeed while lying down.
Yeah.
Because my boob was small, so I could not. So I would always have to sit down. So anyway, like life
The
is just-
advice, oh my gosh, when the baby cries, oh, maybe you've not done this. Maybe you have not given them this. You have not done this. Now your child looks underweight. Your child looks like everyone has something to
Overweight, that's another thing. Also,
Yes.
why is your child so big? What is over there? They
say. How
have,
many months? 2 months? Like, like what will a mother do right? A new mother,
yeah,
surely.
because they don't know.
Thankfully, by the time you're on your maybe second child or third child,
You've already
you've,
figured out, yeah.
You're like, it's
So
okay.
people can say
Think
things
what
and
you
you brush
want.
them off if you're sure what you're doing is correct.
Yeah.
And then the covering. Cover that baby.
Cover traumatized me when I was staying at my mother's because every judge, senga, everyone who would come, auntie, who cover. But my
And the
baby,
baby is
was
sweaty.
born at like 3.7 kgs. That's not a tiny baby. Already, the baby has so much flesh. So they are sweating, but then also they will get that rush. Then everyone is like, now the rush. It's like whatever comes, takes. And everybody who comes, they have a certain thing. But I appreciated someone who told me that God knew you were the mother for this child. Chose you to be the mother for this child. So, yeah.
But also because you don't know, you keep trying all those things. And let me also just say, they mean well. Most of us people mean well. They just, as women, we feel like we should always help each other out. So everyone is trying to help you. It's just that it gets confusing. And then you can get frustrated, feeling like, can I do anything right for my child? So I feel like even us, we've given advices to other first-time mothers, and maybe sometimes they're also feeling like,
For me, I try to give many options, like try this, try this, try this. Because there's some advice they give and it's helpful, especially at that point when the child starts getting constipated. There are those things people say, give them some tomato juice, drop this, and the thing works and you're like, oh, this advice has worked.
I think what you need to know, if you're a first-time mother, is everyone is trying to give you what worked for them.
Yeah.
And trying to help you so that you don't maybe experience the negative things they experience. Yeah. It's just that sometimes it can be overwhelming and it can be a lot. So take it in good faith, but also choose what you can do with what they're telling you.
Yeah. Another thing, Florence, though I wouldn't say that they don't really tell us this, that your life changes when you become a mother. I think they do, but I think you never realize how
magnitude.
Yes, until you actually become a mother.
Yes.
Like your thoughts, like
your whole life,
everything,
now
like planning, your kamane, your everything
even
you're thinking.
that day, your whole day.
Yeah, especially those earliest. I know it remains the same, because my mom is probably thinking about me right now, bless her. But it's that really your life changes. You no longer focus just on you and what you want. You might be at a restaurant eating something and you're thinking, I think, let me try and take call. And I know you'll speak more into that later, but life does change and we need to accept, because sometimes we try so hard to have the same life we had. And yet now we have people depending on us. We have, you know, I remember being so stressed out about having to stay home in those first few months, because I thought, I need to go out, I need to do this. And yet, like you feel you can't really go anywhere. There are certain points where you, especially when you've just had your first child, you don't even have the strength to go anywhere. Like, find me here if you want to see me. So life changes.
Life changes, actually, because your whole life actually changes. Because my firstborn has just made 12. But
You've been a mother.
I know. So, but still, it's like in my thoughts, even if I travel, I'm always trying to figure out, do they have enough of these other meals, you know? What are they going to eat? So even when I've traveled, maybe I'm in town, somehow I have to, before I go, I need to sort out certain things. So it's no longer like when I was single, I just wake up and leave. Someone just calls, where are you? Hey, I'm here, let me come. Now you're thinking, okay, they need this, they need that. So even when you have a trip the next day, you're planning ahead of time.
Yeah, for them.
They might need this day, because you don't want to, when you go away and the things are not enough, you're going to feel, you're going to feel guilty.
Yeah.
You're going to feel like, I'm such a bad mother. And by the way, there's something about guilt.
Yeah, for mothers.
Yes, that mom guilt, like you feel guilty when you don't do certain things. You feel like, maybe I'm careless, maybe I'm such a bad mother, my children might be hurt. Like, I don't know, but your whole life just becomes about the children. Because usually your husband is an adult, so they can figure out a lot if they're the ones who have stayed at home. But your children, even when you go to shop, sometimes you go to shop for your own clothes, then you come back with their clothes, something. So your whole life changes, even the way you think. When your child, like when one of my children maybe makes maybe like a certain noise, or sometimes when they are sleeping they turn and maybe they hit the wall. I don't know why, but I'm awake somehow.
Actually, I don't think I've slept through the night since I got kids. Because remember, it starts in pregnancy. You have to keep waking up maybe to use the, to pee. And then now when you have the baby, oh my God, I like, make sure you don't sleep on the baby. The baby needs to feed this often because they still need, like, so you're already in that mode of waking up. And I used to think after you get out of the breastfeeding phase and maybe the child is sleep trained or they can sleep longer, you will also just sleep. And I know some mothers are able to, and that's okay. Like, we're not saying there's something wrong with you, but it's just you wake up to check, have they covered themselves? Yes. There are so many memes about toddlers and covers. Like, every hour, they are just, like, their mission as they sleep is to make sure they uncover themselves as much as possible. If the mosquitoes are to get them, let them get them, the net, everything. So there's that level of at least waking up at least once or twice for most people. Anyway,
especially when they are little.
Yes.
When they are little.
Yeah.
Because you've just breastfed them, maybe you put them down, and then they start crying. You must wake up. Then, like, maybe they are now sick, and you're like you're always trying to figure out what is it. So your whole life is about the children. It's just that the sleeping gets better as they grow older, because and then also how you prepare for them, or before you go for a trip, also changes a bit. But just so you know, if you're a first-time mother or you're going to be a first-time mother, your whole life changes. You can't go to maybe for like I remember when for me, I would tell my husband, you know, like when they would invite us for weddings, those things I had just, that season, because the hustle is real, the child is going to get hot, they are screaming, you're looking for where to change the pamper from, the breast milk is going through your car dress, like
there's a lot anyway to figure out that was not there before you had the baby. My friends make fun of me because whenever I move with my kids and we're going maybe to visit someone at their home, I pack nighties, I pack sponge, toothbrush, changing things, because I know I'm not one of those people who has the discipline to leave at 4. Me, I want the KB to go as long as it can. So if I'm leaving at 7, I know along the way the kids will be sleeping. So I will make sure we leave when we have bathed, we have we have eaten supper, we have, even if the supper is different, that's another thing. I had to figure out supper doesn't have to be matoke, what. It can be yogurt, it can be like whatever can keep their tummy full. I bathe them, they bathe now, thankfully they can bathe themselves. They bathe, they brush, we come home straight to bed. And I feel like that has helped me manage that whole change, but it's a lot of work because you're mugging things too, you know.
Even figuring out meals every day. For me now, I don't have to wake up as often as I used to. But now, I must figure out supper every day, lunch, breakfast. Like, that's a lot. It's hard work. Sometimes just feel like I don't want to be an adult today.
That's another one.
I don't want to be an adult.
Yes.
Work. An adult today. So your whole life changes. It's actually, motherhood is ministry. Let me just say, because you're ministering to your children. The other one is that motherhood is hard.
Yeah.
It's not even just hard work. It is hard. It is not easy, you know. Even I naturally love children. Even when I was little, as those girls who would always carry babies, play baby games.
Neighbor's baby.
Yes, but motherhood is hard. Sometimes
having your own.
Yes. Sometimes you feel like you're not, like your work, you're putting it so much, and you feel like
you're not getting out what you're putting in.
Yes, you feel like this thing is hard. It is hard. It's not easy because your whole life, like we said, has changed.
Yeah.
It's about these children. So it is not easy.
Yeah, but
even when you're stressed, it is not easy. It's rewarding.
Yes, it's rewarding.
Let's agree, and that's why we have children.
Yeah, it's rewarding.
It's rewarding.
We want them anyway. We want them.
Yes, it's rewarding, but motherhood is hard. So if you are a first-time mother, give yourself a lot of grace, you know, and give mothers grace. Give mothers grace, because sometimes the baby was sick in the night. and you were asked, you were awake the whole night,
Yeah.
but you must go to work and you must function
Yeah.
at work, because your boss is not going to know those things of
Yeah.
Banange, the baby was sick. And when you have babies, like that season when you have a lot of toddlers and then like a baby, they fall sick a lot.
Yeah, they do.
But your life must function at home, so, you know, in a perfect way. Otherwise, you're a
wife, you still have
sloppy.
function as a wife.
As a wife, that's another whole topic.
That's another one.
Night duties, you know.
Yeah.
But like, it is hard because then you must go at work and function. And you're not going to give those excuses of my child was sick at night.
I think what makes it hard is because maybe we grew up seeing our mothers and we thought for them it comes naturally. People tend to make it seem like motherhood comes naturally. Once you have that baby, you just feel the love. We've already discussed feelings. You like, they don't talk about all these other things surrounding. And then that constant, I have a 4-year-old right now. Mommy, mommy, mommy.
By the way,
and you're like, oh.
it doesn't end on 4 years, Papo. My children, when they are looking for clothes and they can't find clothes, get who they ask. Mommy, I can't find my short.
And then the thing is right there.
Go find your short.
Yeah,
but
so
for them, mommy
needs you.
is the solution. So they will always come to you, and sometimes you have to get up and see. So, okay, let's go look through and see. Because maybe they, I don't know, they misplaced them.
Sometimes the truth is you struggle with a bad attitude. Sometimes personally I struggle with the, my God, like this needing, someone needs you constantly. Can't I just be by myself? Can't I just have, but like I said, we have these children.
Because we want them.
Yeah, so motherhood is hard. It's hard work, but it's rewarding. It has very many good points, really. That's what the rewarding is about. So much to learn, and like we've been saying, your life changes, but most times it changes for the better. Like you become when you look at your whole life, you become a more mature, more self-sacrificing. I think God uses it.
You have no choice, though.
To teach us to forgive, to, sacrifice. I've found that I'm learning a lot about grace being a mother, because I tend to be like, now, I told you not to do that and you did that and you fail. And immediately I think like that. I feel like God is telling me, how many times a day do I do the same thing and I tell you, and you do the opposite, and you fall on your face, and then you come back, God forgive me, Father forgive me. So like you remember and you're like, okay, I have a Father who is being patient with me. Let me try, let me do my best. So it helps you grow. It changes you.
But also extend grace to mothers. Because the truth is, there are seasons that are hard, when that sickness is there, and there are other chores. Like you must juggle a lot as a mother. And
then don't judge a mother just by what you're seeing in that moment. Maybe the child threw a tantrum that time, and you're like, these mothers
that's
are the
another
ones.
topic.
And you don't know what this person has been trying to do in the background. Children change. When you're alone, you can be okay. They did this.
Especially
they did
in
that.
public. I don't know what happens.
Then they get out in
pull
public
out.
and they refuse to greet.
They pull out their moves.
We have, and then you.
But also, Papa, if you're a single person, don't comment on other. Don't comment on the children, because some of those comments, after when you have children, you're going to struggle with the same things. But you either were harsh with this other person's child, and now you're babying yours, because it's reality for you. So have grace.
They're not robots, those children.
Have grace. And of course, as mothers, yes, we have things to work on. But for you who is watching, extend some grace. In conclusion, as a mother, surround yourself with a lot of support. If you have a mother who can help you, allow them to support you. If your husband wants to help, actually ask them to help. Because sometimes men are not sure
How to help.
how
Yeah,
to
that's
help. What
true.
do I do? Some of them are even afraid of those babies.
Yeah.
When they're like, I'm going to break it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's too delicate.
it's too delicate. How do I shower them? Because even for them, it's their first experience for most of them. So they are not sure how to juggle. So surround yourself, you know. Choose the right friends at that time. Who are those people who are going to support you? Encourage you, you know. But also, do you have people you can go to and talk to in case you are depressed, in case you just need to, you know, process your thoughts. Yeah.
In conclusion, as well, you know, I just wanted to add, as your concluding phrase, that mothers, we need to take better care of ourselves as mothers. You know, we talked about how your life changes and so much is going on, and that tendency is to focus on the children, and it's
the
okay,
husband, yeah.
yes, but there's a point where you need to be able to say, wait, can I get my car ice cream to help me feel good? Or can I do my nails? Can I, something that's just for you as you? And I know it depends on your finances and things like that, but there's always something you can
Within
do.
your
Even if
means.
it's just journaling, even if it's just taking a walk as you, like, if you can have the children be somewhere else. Now, I know there's a season where that may be a luxury, but at some point, just to be able to refresh, because you're going to be a mother the rest of your life. So there has to be a point where you can refresh yourself and just say, you know, and then you come back and you start tackling the reporting.
Go and call your girlfriends, like,
that
plan.
really helps me.
Because we like jazzing, we like talking, catching up. So those things kind of refresh us. So don't put them on the side.
If you're married,
Yes.
invest, you know, let the children not become the center of your whole marriage, or, you know, find a way to have you time for you and your spouse, so that, you know, you keep yourself going, because the babies won't always be in the house with you, and this person will probably always be with you. But start with yourself. Start by taking care of yourself. Yeah.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah. So if you have enjoyed this video, please share it with another person. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to watch the video that we did on birth stories, please go on my channel, Open Conversation. You will find it there. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.